Hipper here. So it's been a while since I've touched the Albemarle, and I don't think I've done a video with Albemarle with both Azure Lane Baltimore and Takao, so I'll do that now. So obviously this is Tenant here with Baltimore and Takao as inspirations, and all the speed and rudder perks along with fully packed chosen. So this is a full agile build, but it's not perfect yet because as you can see in a minute here, and by the way, always pick the radar, don't pick the plane. As you can see, the rudder is 2.4 seconds, and it's very, very good, but I need it down another 0.4 seconds to around 2 seconds. In comparison, Edinburgh is at 1.9, and I have been neglecting Albemarle a little bit lately in favor of Edinburgh, I must admit. Not because Albemarle is bad, but just because Edinburgh is just so much fun. So this is a full agile build on Albemarle here. So obviously this video here will be showing off like classic agile cruiser gameplay. Because we'll be facing mostly battleships over here on this flank, pretty much only battleships. And that's what Albemarle with a build like this does perfectly. And I see people online complaining about Albemarle being squishy and not being able to, well, bow tank or do any of the more traditional plays, and yeah, that's right, you cannot bow tank or stern tank in this ship here, and if you show broadside you will be absolutely citadeled. So this is like Albemarle is about angling, and not battleship angling, but angling your armor, so kind of like Nelson, so you take advantage of the thickness amidships. But there's no reason to do that if you can avoid getting hit in the first place, which is what agile cruisers are all about. So here we have our three big fat friends coming down to like have an easy meal, they think. But yeah, and the Yami is shooting HE, don't know why, but it doesn't really matter because he only gets one hit in. He did surprise me a little bit there, so I didn't realize he was ready to fire already. So he did get one shell in, but it hardly did any damage at all. So they're in like a perfect distance, 12 kilometers, 12, 13, that's where we want them. So it's just a matter of slowly whittling them down here. And unfortunately, my torps aren't, they don't have the range to get this massa here, otherwise this would probably have been a 200k game, but yeah. Anyway, we'll settle with whatever 165 or whatever we get here. So this here is a dream setup for Albemarle. I'm only facing battleships, and the distance to them is perhaps a little bit further than I would like, but at least they're not closer than I would like them to be, which is a good thing. So I'm able to dodge most of their shots, and that brings me back to the fact that like a lot of people complain about Albemarle being squishy, and well, it is in some ways, unless you like keep your head on a swivel and you know exactly when to angle your armor and in the exact right angle, which can be difficult sometimes. So like I keep saying, well, it's better to just not get hit in the first place. So this Yami here is pretty annoying because he is staggering his shots, and he's broadside on, so he has access to all his guns, and of course my Amaji can't hit him over there. So I'm going to have to turn around now because he is getting a little bit too much to handle. There's always a fine line between pushing and overextending, and recognizing that fine line is pretty much a prerequisite for playing agile cruisers. Because if you push too much, you will sink, regardless of how agile you are. Because had I kept pushing, that Massachusetts would have been within probably 10 kilometers of me, and he would be able to land some nasty hits. And then I'm sure the Yami would join in, and it would have been a bit of a problem for me. So as long as they don't have the cap, everything is fine. We're just going to slowly whittle them down here. There's no rush. But what I really want to show in this video is that like it's not true when people say that, oh, Albemarle cannot fight battleships and it's a cruiser killer or destroyer killer or whatever. Like, that is not true. It's an excellent battleship killer. It really is. It's also an excellent destroyer killer. It has radar and it has deadly HE, and it's also an excellent cruiser killer. Probably cruisers are like its weak point, I think, because it doesn't have that wonderful AP that Hipper has, for example. Like, Hipper is my favorite cruiser killer out there. It's better than any battleship, I think. So our Amaji is showing broadside here, and obviously he's going to be punished for that. Now, I would love I had a little bit more range on my torpedoes in this battle here, because I just can't hit these battleships here. And I'm pretty sure that's why they're keeping their distance, because they know I'm flooding the sea with murder dolphins here, hoping to get one of them. Had I been in Amalfi, probably been a little bit better. It has just a little bit more range on those torpedoes, and but again, it's quite a bit of luck when you're firing torpedoes at like 13 kilometers away. So I'm not going to complain. So the Massachusetts is about to go down here, and that's going to put us at a massive advantage here, because it means there's a whole set of 9 guns less shooting at us, or me in particular, because the Suzuya on this flank here, he's more of an island hider, which is fine. That's if that's his build. But as you can see, I enjoy open water in Albemarle, and I think it does exceptionally well in that role. And I don't have any destroyers to worry about here, or any cruiser at all. All I have to do is just burn these battleships here and make sure they don't get the A cap. But now they're actually pushing. We are almost halfway into the battle, so I reckon they are realizing that they gotta start to make a move soon, otherwise they're gonna run out of time, because we are just slightly ahead on points. As you probably know, I prefer my agile cruisers. Actually, I think it's a requirement for an agile cruiser to have a heal, because agile cruisers are played, or are supposed to be played, very, very aggressively. Like I'm doing here. You take on 3 battleships in open water, that's fine. That's exactly what these ships are meant to do. And as you probably also know, the heal on Albemarle, and also Edinburgh for that matter, is excellent. If you take like a really nasty hit, if you really mess up and you take 2 or 3 citadels and you're down to 10% health, you can, well, not citadels, you can't repair citadels completely, and there we just cheat the Yamato again. He's wasted a lot of salvos on me this game here. So anyway, the heal is absolutely astounding, and it allows me to make those like aggressive, like high risk, high reward plays that I love to do. And if I can't do that in a cruiser, then I don't like the ship. It's very, very simple. If it forces me to play, for example, like the Suzuya is playing, like it has to sit behind an island, and if it takes a hit, it's probably a citadel, and like you have to be really defensive in that ship. While in Albemarle, it's a totally different story. In a minute, this Yamato here is going to get a punishing salvo from, I don't know, across the map somewhere. But of course, he just gets off his shells towards me, and there he goes. But I can see as soon as they leave the guns, I don't have anything to fear from them, so I don't even look at them when they land. It doesn't really matter, because I know they are very little threat. So we only have the Iowa left now, and he lost his 2 friends, and it's time to focus him down. And he gets a pretty good shot in there. I'm pretty lucky there, he only gets a citadel. He could have taken me out there. And this is one of the reasons that I don't put my commander skills into stuff where it's like a % chance of something happening. Like dispersion builds on battleships. Look, I do use them, but I mean, the dispersion can still troll you completely. Like just like you don't have any dispersion at all, and just like if you put Kondo on Yamato, sometimes you have excellent dispersion. And like if it's that, like if you can't trust it, then I don't see any need to put any perks into it. Like reload, okay, you know that you will have like a basic 10% reduction of your reload. That's fine. Rudder, okay, you know exactly what your rudder is, and it's always going to be that. Speed of ship, okay, yeah, you know exactly how fast you're going, and it's always going to be that, unless your engine gets taken out. But dispersion and accuracy, it's not something that I spend a lot of resources on. And as you can see, an agile cruiser without any of those benefits, it does perfectly well. After all, this game has to accommodate players who take out stock ships that they haven't upgraded or anything, and with like just stock commanders as well. And of course, it doesn't work if those players get like totally like ruffle stomped by everyone else in the game because they don't have their ships upgraded. So that's why I'm not a big fan of accuracy and dispersion, at least not on cruisers. Battleships maybe, but I still think reload is better. So anyway, we caught this gearing here in a nasty situation. He thought he could come over here and grab our cap, but I have the radar, and the Suzuya has the HE if he could hit, and together we'll just take this guy out here. And then when he's gone, I can focus the turrets, and that should more or less be the end of the battle here. Now, like I said before, I wish Albemarle had just 0.4, 0.3 better rudder. And I know it doesn't sound like much, but if you look at it in numbers, that means cutting about 20% of your rudder shift again. So if you ever get another inspiration like a Sure Lane Baltimore with another 6% rudder, obviously I'm going to switch all of my arpeggio inspirations for that new inspiration. And for Albemarle, that's going to make a world of difference. It means that I can get the rudder down to around 2 seconds, which is the sweet spot. Obviously, we don't have that inspiration yet. So yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see if it ever comes. It could also be a new British commander, just like Soundwave for the Italians, that actually has a base perk with improved rudder. That way you get a free rudder upgrade, and that way, if it's another 3%, I'll be able to get Albemarle down to 2 seconds, 2.1 seconds like I want to. So there's a few options. I don't know if they're ever going to happen, but it is a little bit of a shame because Albemarle, I think, actually has one of the slowest rudders at tier 7 now. Well, not slow, 2.4 seconds is actually pretty blinding fast. But compared to the other ships, it is a bit on the slow side. Most of the others I can get down to 2 seconds, 2.1 seconds. So yeah, I wish I could do that with Albemarle as well. Perhaps it's going to be a little bit too powerful then, I don't know. Perhaps that's why it's not possible. I don't think so, but I wish I could. So there's the high caliber at just around 150,000 damage. So that's with all those legendaries in the games. As a cruiser, you really have to rake in that damage when there's battleships that has like 100,000, almost 100,000 hit points. It's not like in the good old days where you were just fighting Iowas and Amagis, and you could get away with it with like a high caliber at maybe 80, 90,000, something like that. It's pretty much double now. So now, instead of actually trying to win this battle here by taking me on, the Turbot decides to run away. And I don't really understand that, because he's down on points, he's down on ships, and there is absolutely no way he can win this battle in any other way than taking both of us out. So, like, why would anyone run away at this point in time? Wouldn't it be better to die in battle At least that's what I would do. If I was in his position, I would definitely take the last 2 ships on in that last minute I have left, instead of running away, because running away is a sure loss. Yeah, you survive, but you get nothing out of that. There's absolutely no reward for not dying in this game here. And sometimes the best play is to kill yourself. And I think in this situation here, that would definitely be the best play. And I'm not just saying that because I want to hit 200,000 damage, which I think I could if I got the chance to burn that turbot a little bit more. It is a fact that he's going to lose no matter what, so why not try to take one of us with him? But whatever, each to their own. So that is the end of the battle here, and this is a super agile Albemarle, as agile as they come. And don't let anyone tell you that Albemarle cannot fight battleships, because it can. It is excellent at it. And yeah, if you run a bow tank build in your Albemarle, yeah, you're gonna be absolutely punished, so don't do that. Very simple. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video here, and I'll see you out there.